Once again, I welcome you to Marriage Without Tears channel. This is your ultimate channel for married couples that want to add value to their marriage. If you actually want to see your marriage stand the test of time and be able to overcome all the challenges that come in marriage, this is the place to be. Once you are watching this channel, I can tell you that you're going to learn a few things that will augment your marriage and cause you to fulfill destiny. This is your place. This is your channel. If you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please, there's a red button by my side. Click on it and get subscribed and be part of this awesome family. Once again, welcome to Marriage Without Tears channel. Our discussion today is simply how to sustain your marriage in times like this. How to sustain your marriage in times like this. I've come to observe that a whole lot of marriages are under serious stress because of the downturn in economic activities, because of the poverty level in the nation, because of all manner of things that are happening, that they are making it difficult for partners to actually meet their obligations to one another and to the rest of the family. I can tell you that the cost of raising children these days is becoming higher and higher every day. Talk less of other needs of the household. So couples are in serious stress. And therefore, it becomes even more evident that only couples whose marriages are founded on solid rock can stand the test of time, can actually stand this period. And that is why I want to give you some of the tidbits, some of the things you need to do, actually about 5 of them that can place your marriage on a sound footing, so that no matter whatever the conditions be throw at it, no matter whatever conditions they encounter, your marriage will continue marching on strong to the glory of God. Once again, my name is Felix Okeke. I am your marriage counselor and coach. The first thing you must do actually, and I counsel that a lot, I tell a whole lot of couples, this is like the core of every marriage that will stand the test of time. Quality and effectual communication. Very, very important. The ability to, to seek to understand and also to be understood. Very, very important. If as a partner in a marriage, you have developed the tendency to listen attentively to one another, and you also know how to communicate your intentions, your desires appropriately, then you have met a very big percentage of marital success. That is what I can tell you. Because under everything in marriage lies communication. The ability to tell, the ability to speak your opinions, your views, the ability to convey your emotions, the ability to let one another into your world. That is what communication is all about. As a couple, you must learn that, and it is not something. It's not something you will learn in a day. It takes a whole process of time for you to actually become adept at it, to become expert in communication. And communication takes place in different levels. I must tell you. I want you to go to our earlier editions on communication, and you will learn a whole lot in communication. Communication is at the foundation, the base of any fulfilling marital relationship. If as a couple you have known how to minister, how to communicate to your spouse, when to communicate to your spouse, the conditions that will be right for you to communicate effectively, and also why some certain informations may be kept for certain periods of time, then you are actually a very, very wise couple. This is what makes a wise couple. You don't say anything at any time you want to say it. No. There are certain information you must not pass on to your spouse when a third party is around. There are certain information you must not pass to your spouse at certain hours of the day. There are certain information you must not pass to your spouse because of certain conditions they are in at that particular point in time. And I tell you, if as a married partner you are able to understand this about your own spouse, then of course your marriage is already on solid ground. It's very, very important. Effective and effectual communication. It will allow you to build trust. It will allow you to resolve conflicts with ease. It will allow you to grow your marriage to have that kind of bonding and harmony that will make your marriage productive as the years go by. Effective communication, very, very important in marriage. And at this period in time, please, I want you to begin to study your spouse afresh. Study the moods, study certain things about your spouse. Get to understand him or her at a deeper level, and then you'll be able to communicate better. And as the years go by, you discover that your marriage is becoming better and better. I can tell you that. The second thing you must also know as a spouse is the capacity to develop a strong spiritual life, because what we believe in has a lot to do with our values, our principles, our habits. What we believe in, it smears on it. It is reflected in our emotions. It is reflected in our communication. It is reflected in our, our fellowship. It's reflected in everything around us. So as a couple, try as much as possible to build a strong spiritual life together under the same spiritual guide. I don't like it when I see couples going to different churches. No, it's not the best of it. It's not the best. As a couple, you must learn to understand God at the deeper level from a spiritual source. From a spiritual source. Learn how to seek God together in prayers, in fasting, in study of scriptures. Learn how to do it together. And as you are doing so, you will discover that some certain aspects of your marriage, the way you understand one another, will deepen, because it's a relationship between both of you at one pedestal, and then both of you and God that brought that union to be in the first place. So a strong spiritual life is very, very important for every married couple. A very strong spiritual life. Learn how to go on spiritual journeys together. Learn how to take out time of your busy schedules and engage in spiritual exercise together. Learn how to do things together spiritually. If you are involved in a church or in a ministry, be there to serve. Don't just be a bench warmer. Don't be a Sunday kind of Christian or a Friday kind of Muslim. No, be there to serve. Let your service be seen. Increase your service record. Be able to invest your talents, your gifts, your finances to the work of the kingdom. Very, very important. As a couple, it's very, very important. Learn how to understand one another, carry one another at that level. And I can tell you, your relationship will deepen. It will become difficult for both of you to part. Even at the worst of times, you can't even afford to part. So that is the second thing you must do. If you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please do so immediately. There is a red button by my side here. Once you click on it, you become part of Marriage Without Tears family. This is a family of people who desire to make a success of their marriage, who desire to learn all it takes to make their marriage better as the years go by. So get involved. Punch this very red button and become part of this channel immediately. I will tell you the third thing you need to do. The third thing you need to do is to develop the ability to compromise. Give room for one another's opinion. You must begin to realize that neither of you have monopoly over wisdom. No, there are aspects of you that are wonderful. Both of you have weaknesses and strengths. It's a capacity to harness your individual talents, your individual gifts, your individual strengths, to harmonize it, harness it, create a synergy that will take you to a higher pedestal in marriage. That is what makes a glorious couple. When a couple discovers the strength in one another and they are able to join these strengths together, they create a third force. It becomes a more impactful union. That is what it's all about. But when you see a couple that are always attacking one another because of the weaknesses in one another, that marriage will not go the distance. And I can tell you that in places where you find couples who are always squabbling, who are always criticizing one another, who are always putting one another down, nitpicking and all that, you discover that marriage does not go the distance. But when you find a couple who is able to understand the joy and the peace and the love and all manner of things that God has crafted in the partners, in the partners being, and you are able to harness it, then you develop and you grow that marriage and you become a wonderful couple. That is how it happens. Create room for one another's suggestions, one another's perspectives, one another's opinions is very, very important in marriage. And that's the third one I'm going to give you. And of course, the fourth one I also want to tell you is what I call establishing a financial security. Finances is very important. Poverty and lack has destroyed the best of marriages, because When there is poverty and lack in a marriage consistently, you discover that those couples that are unable to meet their targets, their set targets, their lifelong goals and dreams and visions, they are unable to meet them. And when you are unable to meet your goals and visions, frustration set in. And the moment frustration set in, you become antagonistic to one another. So the root of it is lack of funding. Every organization, including the marital life, it requires quality funding. And what does that tell us? If as a spouse you discover that what you are doing, either a vocation or a career, is not yielding the required dividend, please make a change. If you also discover that whatever you are engaged in is not bringing food to the table, then rearrange your priorities. Very, very important. Because at the end of the day, nobody will fund that marriage except both of you. Nobody will add value financially to that marriage except both of you. And when you discover that even your children are not attending the schools they ought to attend, and they are not meeting some certain obligations they are supposed to meet simply because they are lacking funding, then a kind of sadness creeps into the union. And what you get is frustration. I must tell you, even as a couple out there, check whatever you are doing and make it profitable. And if it's not profitable, please engage your minds together. Sit back together as a couple, discuss it. How can what we are doing become more productive and more fruitful, so that we grow this marriage in a way that in later years we can sit back and reap the fruits and the benefits of our labor. It's very, very important for a couple to do that. And before I go into the last one, I would like to also tell you once again, please subscribe to this channel. We are doing great things here, and there are already 100 and something videos on this very particular channel, and each one is dealing with a particular issue of vital interest. If you only but subscribe to this channel, you will reap a whole lot of dividends. So just click on this button and get subscribed. The fifth one I want to tell you right away is the capacity for tolerance and forgiveness. I have said it countless times that a quality marriage is a union of two great forgivers. If you are unable to forgive one another, and you build a compendium or a chart of all the faults that have happened or that your partner has done to you over the years, and you store it in your memory and you refuse to blot it out, there's no way that that marriage will increase in value. A quality marriage increases when the partners involved have developed the capacity to blot out transgressions, to keep away every ugliness, to be able to wipe away whatever is the infringement in both parties. The capacity to say, I am sorry when need be. The capacity to rise up and be able to apologize for some certain errors in your own relationship is very, very important. And when a couple gets to that level where they can fruitfully and genuinely apologize to one another, I can tell you that loyalty comes in, bonding comes in, trust comes in, and a whole lot of things become joyful as the years go by. I would have told you more, but I want you to keep faith with this channel, because by next week I'll be coming with much more points. I will give you a lot more, but just put in practice 5 of the things I've mentioned here tonight, and I can tell you that your marriage will see the best of times. I thank you very well for actually keeping faith with this channel. I know I've been away for quite a while, but I will make it up for you. And invite your friends, invite your neighbors, talk to your loved ones about this channel, and most importantly, speak to your spouse about this channel. Let them become part and parcel of this channel, and let's see this quality union that the Lord has brought together. Let us all see it. Let us build it into that formidable force that will make a difference in the world. I thank you very much for being part of this channel.